Well, did you like the cue to come up? That big long cue that says come up.
Hello, hello. Is that a little better? That's better, right?
Somebody with him?
Thank you all for paying such close attention to our drill. You know it's very important for you to just stand and wait for someone to tell you where to go. So thank you very much for doing that. And now to top it all off, what a wonderful way for our afternoon to start. We have Robin.
Rahel.
Rahel. Is it Rahel?
Rahel.
Rahel.
Yes.
Rahel. Rahel. I love that name.
Yeah.
I won't forget that now again, will I? Why did I say Robin? Just like the word game. Just like the word game.
It's a boss name, Robin.
Rahel, it's so nice to have her back. We've had her here a while back and everyone so enjoyed her. So enjoy this afternoon, my friends.
The first song is always tough because you don't know what the sound is going to be like. So if it's terrible, you'll tell me, or if you want it higher or lower, if it's too loud or too soft, you'll let me know. But so far, it seems okay? Seems okay? Yeah, okay. You never know with this, modern technology, right? So let's see. I thought I'd play some songs that I wrote to get started with. Last time I came here, I played a lot of songs that we know, and we sang along, and then we'll do that, because you guys are great singers. But I think I'm going to start out by doing something just of my own, and give you a little taste of who I am, as opposed to what I usually do, by singing songs that everybody knows. Is that all right with everybody?
Fine.
Yeah? Okay. So, my name is Rahel. I grew up in Massachusetts, in Lexington. Anybody from Massachusetts? Lexington area? Yes? Where? Arlington. Where else?
Lexington.
You're from Lexington. Okay.
Townsend.
Townsend. All right. Where? Winthrop? All right. Yeah, it's all sort of in the same general vicinity, right? Right? So I went to Lexington High, graduated, all that stuff. Then I lived in Israel. Actually, before that, I went to Boston. And I lived in Boston for 3 years where I was a cab driver. And I will tell you that those were the best days of my life. I was a carefree teen. What did I know? I didn't have any, I trusted everyone, right? Mistake, no. But I had a great time. It was the kind of job you could come and go as you pleased. You didn't have to worry about punching a time card or anything. If there was a taxi, you took it out. If there wasn't, you didn't work. And if you didn't feel like going to work that day, you didn't. So that's why I say it was the best time of my life, because nobody could tell me what I had to do and when. And if I just felt like sleeping all day, I did. And every summer I took the time off and I went traveling around. I went to Canada, I went to Europe, and I came back and always had a job waiting for me. So it was very, very good until after 3 years somebody said, "Isn't it dangerous?" I said, "No, it's not dangerous." But okay, I did get mugged once, and I had some fares run away without paying, and then I started to say, I think it's a little dangerous. So I stopped driving the cab, and then I went to Israel. So I lived in Israel for 22 years. I got married, divorced, raised my children, and then I've been back in New Hampshire for 16 years. So that's me in a nutshell. And I'm going to play you some songs that kind of, throughout my whole adult life, songs came to me, and I wrote songs. And I didn't really, wasn't really performing for a long time, and I was, what they call a closet musician. Stayed in my house and played for myself until one day someone brought me on a stage because they thought I could play the banjo. Well, I can play the banjo, about 10 songs, but I spent the whole time tuning it and played about one song, and it was very embarrassing. But eventually I learned how to come out and play in front of an audience. So here I am. So this is a song that I wrote. There's a folk singer named Tom Paxton. Does anybody know folk music? He's called Tom Paxton. He wrote some very beautiful folk songs, and he wrote a song called I Can't Help But Wonder, Where I'm Bound. Well, this song is called Where I'm Bound, and I didn't mean to copy Tom Paxton, but it's kind of like, reminds me of his song. But it says, I can't help but go where I'm bound. So we never know where we're going in life, but we're just going to go there no matter what. A little bit loud there. Thank you. If you'll let me indulge myself a little bit, I'm going to play a few mellow songs. So I work also as a therapeutic musician, not just a performing musician and a songwriter. And so that means I play for music for people to relax to, and just to create a very comfortable environment. And so if you're feeling tired, and I'm not, I know I'm not supposed to come and make people go to sleep, right? But if you, let's just say instead of sleeping, you went into a nice little visual in your mind, and it took you to a wonderful place, and you want to close your eyes and just be in that place, that's okay. So if you're closing your eyes and just going there, I'm not going to be insulted. We're going to wake up afterwards, don't worry. We'll sing some rowdy songs after. This one is called Belong. And when my son was in elementary school, I think he was in 4th grade, they would raise chameleons in the classroom. I don't know if any of you had children or grandchildren who did the same thing. And at the end of the year, whatever animals they were raising in class, they got to take home. So we got stuck with a chameleon. And little did I know when I said you could bring it home, that in order to keep a chameleon alive, you have to feed it live crickets. So every week I had to go to the pet store and get live crickets to feed this chameleon. Well, instead of buying like just 1 or 2, you know, I would buy about 20 of them. So I wouldn't have to go to the pet store all the time. And then the house like got filled with cricket sounds. We were just like listening to crickets day in and day out, all night long, until like one by one there was only, you know, 1 cricket left, and then I had to go get some more, right? So, this lasted, you know, for a while. So after a while we got used to having cricket sounds in the house, and I welcomed it. It was very calming and relaxing, and when there wasn't any sound, I would go, what happened? There's no sounds in the house. So, you know, you get the good and the bad. So anyway, this song was written basically because of those crickets. So there is a verse that talks about the crickets, but so it's kind of a slow. Now the sun is rising in the east, ever slowly I arise from a peaceful slumber. I have ceased. The daylight greets my eyes. In the quiet of the early morn, birds sing their early morning song, catching moments just as they are born. Yes, this is where I belong. And the wind whispers softly in my ear, telling stories only I can hear. In these precious moments, everything just seems so clear. Yes, this is where I belong. Yes, this is where I belong. That's the chorus, and if you want to sing it with me, it comes around about another 2 times. Now the sun is setting in the west. The sky is turning deeper shades of blue. From the hustle bustle I can rest and sing this loving song to you. Here it comes. And the wind whispers softly in my ear, telling stories only I can hear. In these precious moments, everything just seems so clear. Yes, this is where I belong. This is where I belong. Crickets chirping softly everywhere. Oh, how I love their song. I breathe the sweetness of the evening air. Yes, this is where I belong. And the wind whispers softly this is where I belong. This is where I belong. Yes, this is where I belong. This is where I belong. Thank you. I saw some yawns, but you didn't fall asleep yet, right? I'm going to play some country songs. Let's see. This one, I'm going to start with this one. This is a song I wrote because it is a response to country songs that are always about, written by men, about women, right? And terrible things they do to women. Right? They're always like stabbing her in the heart, and burying her in the ground, or, you know, dragging her off somewhere, or I don't know, or missing her terribly. Right? Well, this is coming from a woman's perspective. And it's like, ha-ha on the man. And I apologize to the men in the audience, but sometimes we just have to vent. I am the one that you had waited for. I am the one that you had wanted to care for. I am the one that you had wanted to love forever. I am the one that's left you standing on your own. I forgot what I was doing, you made me laugh. The day we met, you said you love me so. I told you no, it's just plain infatuation. But you held me close enough that I nearly stopped from breathing. And I caught my breath and said, let's sit and drink a few. Well, it's too long playing hearts, trying for a win. And it's too long just wondering, how did it all begin? Now take a hold of yourself now. It never is too late to change your mind and start again. Where do we go when love has gone away? Do we just turn around and face a new direction? Don't hold your breath and wait until you find what you've been looking for. Just take your time and have another drink or two. I said it's too long playing hearts, trying for a win. And it's too long just wondering, how did it all begin? Now take a hold of yourself now. It never is too late to change your mind and start again. Where do we go when love has gone away? Do we just turn around and face a new direction? Don't hold your breath and wait until you find what you've been looking for. Just take your time and have another drink or two. Just take your time and have another drink or two. The men are smiling. I guess it's all right, right? Since we're in country, I always like to sing this song, and it's a song that you know. But I'm going to tell you a story about this song. It was taught to me by a friend when I was in college. He, apparently I just learned recently that he was very rich, but I didn't know that before. He lived in a log cabin when I met him, and he was studying English, I think, or English literature or something. And he could play every instrument, every folk instrument on the sun. You know, he could play a banjo, guitar, fiddle, whatever. And he had an auto harp. Anybody know what an auto harp is? No. The little automatic, it looks like a harp, you know, and you hold it up here and you press some bars down and it makes chords. And he taught me how to play this one song on the auto harp. And I found out recently, about 2 weeks ago actually, I was visiting a friend in Baltimore. And we went to college together, and I said, whatever happened to him? You know, that friend of ours. And she said, oh, he's living in Montana and he's famous now. He's, yeah, over there in Montana. He's called Dobro Dick. Dobro Dick. And he did ride the rails, and he, you know, he had a thing about hobos. He wrote us a book about hobos, and he's over there singing country music and living in a old train car now. But Dobro Dick is famous in Montana. Who knew? So this is the song. You all know it. Well, I was dancing with my darling to the Tennessee waltz when an old friend I happened to meet. I introduced him to my darling. Sing it out. While they were dancing, my friend stole my sweetheart from me. Well, I remember that night and the Tennessee waltz. Only you know how much I have lost. 'Cause I lost my pretty darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee waltz. Somebody's singing really nicely out there. I like that. Well, I remember that night and the Tennessee waltz. Only you know how much I have lost. 'Cause I lost my pretty darling the night they were playing that beautiful Tennessee. You sing it now. I hear somebody singing, who's really singing that great, with the right, like, feeling. So let's hear you sing it again. I was dancing with my darling to the Tennessee waltz when an old friend I happened to see. I introduced him to my darling while they were dancing. My friends stole my sweetheart from me. I remember and the Tennessee waltz. Only you know how much I have lost. 'Cause I lost my pretty darling and I that beautiful Tennessee waltz. Great. That beautiful Tennessee waltz. Yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful song. Somebody was singing it. Was that you, sir? Right there. Singing it really nicely. Really nicely.
Depends on one's opinion.
What is it?
Depends on one's opinion.
Oh. Well, my opinion was that it sounded really nice, but I hope it sounded nice to you too. This is another. I really like cowboy songs, so this is a cowboy song that you're gonna know. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelope seldom